Hey everyone, Matt with Triple Act Adventures. Before we get started on this video, I wanted to give every single one of you that watch this channel and subscribe a huge thank you. You may not notice this, but I did. We hit 1,000 subscribers. That's huge, guys. That means a lot to me and I'm super excited. That was my goal by the end of the year and we hit that already. Anyway, now that we've got that out of the way, let's get into this week's video. So this week's video has been something that's been highly requested by a lot of you, and that is going to be the accessories and modifications that I've made to my iKamper. I've had an iKamper Skycamp 3.0 for quite a while now. It is not the deluxe model that is now out, and we'll talk about that a little bit in this video, but I've had it for maybe 2 years or 3 years now, and I've spent a lot of time in it. If you're not familiar with this channel, you guys know, or if you are familiar with this channel, you guys know that at the end of last year, we spent 28 days straight on the road, all the way from Western New York, all the way down to Arizona and Southern California, and we spent 28 days all camping out of that tent. And of course, we do a lot of other trips as well, so I have a lot of experience with the iKamper tents. So let me get this camera turned around, guys, and we're gonna go over some of the features, accessories that I purchased, and the modifications I made to make it an even better experience. Let's get to it. All right, guys, so if you follow me on Instagram, or if you don't follow me on Instagram, please go do that, Triple Act Adventures. But if you do, you may have realized that we just got back from Vermont. The truck is still very muddy. Hopefully that is coming through in the video. And yeah, it was a really great experience. We did spend some time in the iKamper. We're gonna get there just a second. But the trip in Vermont was very fun. We did a lot of Class 4 roads. We did get a little body damage. Whoopsie. That's part of it. But the truck performed great. It was a little cold, and I'm highly considering a diesel heater now. So that is something that has not been added to this list yet, but will be soon. Without further ado, let's get right into this iKamper video. As you guys can see, and you've probably seen on my channel in the past, I have the iKamper Skycamp 3.0. This is the full size one. They say, I think it's a 4-person tent. Maybe they say it's 6, whatever they say it is. We sleep 2 people and a dog, and I think there's just enough room, but I do like big tents. So it has been a great tent overall. Go watch my video. I'll put a link in the top right of the screen. You guys can go watch my actual review on this tent. But this video is gonna be focused on some of the things that we added to this to make it even better. So first thing you probably noticed right off the get-go is we have the ladder steps. These are from iKamper, as you guys can probably see here and get my hand in the video. There's an iKamper logo. You may not notice, but all these little strips actually glow in the dark. So if you have a headlamp on and you're walking up, all those little strips do light up. It's a pretty nice little modification. It does make walking up and down the steps very nice. There's a side profile. Fun fact, this does fold up, and how you do that is you pull these all through here. I won't show you guys. I probably did in my other video, but this can actually stay right on. We'll go over kind of bedding in a second, but I can leave this on, all the bedding in the tent, deflate the mattress, and fully close with everything up there, including 2 queen size pillows from like your typical bed. I don't have bedding up there right now just to make it easier to see things, but I'll go over that when we get to the bed. But these steps have been great. The big factor was for the dog. So our dog can literally just walk right on up these, and she has all by herself. We typically guide her, but she'll climb all the way up there. Getting down, she doesn't really like coming down, so we typically just grab her from up there and bring her down. And maybe I'll do a video on that. But these steps have been really nice. Like I said on the side profile, it does provide like a step instead of stepping on the runs. I find this is really nice for getting up in a tent because you kind of don't have to like think about it as much. You just walk up it like you would a staircase. It's great. So that's the first thing, and that's really just an accessory. Let's get up inside the tent here and you guys will see some of the modifications I've made. Bear with me, I'm gonna have to change the exposure on this because it's a little dark up here. There we go. All right, so the first thing you may notice when you walk in is there are carpet squares, and I will put a link to everything here in the description below, so you guys, if you're interested in it, you can do it. I put carpet squares all the way underneath the entire thing. These are adhesive backed, and you do cut them around a couple sections, like around some of the arms on the sides, and to make it fit, especially up here, some smaller sections you guys can see. What this does is it provides like a lot. One, it just looks clean to me. It looks really smooth. It's nice. It's nice to put your legs and feet on, and if you get any mud or anything, it's really easy just to vacuum it off and clean it. And it provides a little bit of noise dampening, a little bit from the aluminum that's normally here. It also provides some, what you want to call it, condensation resistance, which is really nice. It also provides a little bit of insulation, which is also really nice. So this has been a really common mod. I've seen some other people have done it online. Like I mentioned, I'll put a comment or a link in the description below for you guys to buy that if you want to. The next thing you may notice, we'll work from maybe the top down. I added a big LED light strip. Now, let me hop actually in this tent. I don't want to get too close just because the camera, I can only get so close, but this strip goes, I started on this side. If I was going to do it again, I'd probably actually start on that side, but it doesn't really matter. But this is a strip that you buy online. And like I mentioned, I'll have a link in the description. It is an LED strip that actually has a USB end on it right here. And I put a little switch so you can lower and dim this all the way down to almost nothing and raise it all the way back up. One note, this little, we accidentally crushed this thing one day, so the little knob fell off, but it pops right back on, as you guys can see. And then I just have a small little brick. This is an old, what do you call these, Anchor USB brick that I had laying around. You can get any size you want. I'll put a link in the description to probably whatever the newest one is that's at least similar size. From my experience, this lasts at least 4 or 5 nights easily if you run these lights a lot, and especially if you dim them down at night. But let me kind of lay down and I'll do this crazy view for you. So it goes all along that strip, all the way on the top, all the way across, and all the way down the other side. This is super nice, and if you don't have a deluxe model, you don't have a light in here, and this is super nice. It casts a nice glow all the way across the tent, and of course it casts a really nice light across this backlit, or like a backlit feature on this beautiful map that iKamper does on the lid. Like I started to mention, this one comes with an end that is a USB. I like that because you can just plug in literally just a power brick right to it to turn it on. Or you can get a little USB dimmer module like I showed you, and you can dim this down. You can also turn it off, but you can dim it all the way down and make it nice and bright, whatever you want. And it just works nice. You just recharge this whenever you need to, and you're good to go. Super great. As far as the length goes, you do cut it. So let's pan over here quick. There are pre-cut spots. You may not see them on here, but there are spots that you cut, and you just cut it wherever you need to on the end, and it just happened to work perfect for this. So that was a huge mod we did to be able to see, especially at night when you get in the tent, it can be a little tough. Let me back out of the tent here a little bit. One of the things you guys may have noticed is that I have a different mattress. Typically, there is like a 2-piece mattress set here. Don't mind the background noise. I work in a industrial zone, so there's people leaving and opening garage doors, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, there's normally a mattress set that is a very thin foam mattress. I replaced that with an Exped Duo Long. I'll put a link in the description, but I'm pretty sure they actually stopped making this model. I believe they have newer models out, still the same size. I'll do some research before I put the links in the description for you. We had this mattress laying around from our tent days, and it just actually happened to be the perfect size to fit in this tent. As you guys can see, when it is deflated, it is extremely thin. Like, we're talking like very, very thin. And when you pump it up, I want to say it's a 3 or maybe a 4-inch mattress. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it is nice and thick. It is very comfy, and it has an extremely high R value, So it does a really good job of insulating, especially in the cold, from the typical aluminum bottom of this tent. We just spent, like I mentioned, a weekend in Vermont. It got down into the very low 30s Fahrenheit, American units, and it was very comfy. We had, for bedding, we do flannel sheets, at least in the winter. We do flannel sheets, flannel pillow covers, a really thick woolly mammoth blanket. It's a wool blanket. And then we typically bring another blanket on top of that. It's like a thicker, probably, I think it's cotton, but it's a nice thick, heavy blanket. And then of course, 2 queen size typical pillows right from our house. And that all fits in here. Put the queen pillows up there and all the bedding kind of over here. And the tent can close easily because this deflates. This is way more comfortable than having that typical mattress that is in there. Now, as far as inflating and deflating, these XPED mattresses do come, I don't have it with me, but it's like this little, it looks like a fart cushion, if you guys remember those when we were kids. It looks like one of those. You keep pressing on it to pump it, and it's obnoxious, especially deflating it. So I bought this little flex tail pump. At this point, XPED does have an actual pump for these now, and I'd probably recommend buying one if that's the route you go, but this works great as well. I'll put a link in the description to both. That way you guys have options. The nice thing to mention on the XPED is the XPED one is designed to actually plug right into the deflate and inflate valves, where this one you kind of use adapters and kind of sort of fits. It definitely fits on the inflate. It just slides in the inflate valve and inflates it. I'm not going to do it for you guys because this little thing makes, sounds like a pump. It's pretty loud. It's going to be obnoxious. But the deflate also fits on this side. So you just put that in there and you can deflate the mattress out, kind of like you would with like a vacuum seal bag. It really does a good job of inflating and deflating that. And this little guy also has a little light on the bottom, so you can use it as a lantern if you want. I have used this, no lie, 7 days in a row, and I charged it just because I was worried it was going to die, but it never died. It does a great job. Super happy with that little thing. So those are really the upgrades we've done to make this tent, and I'm going to sit back here and just kind of enjoy. We can look around. To update this tent and make little creature comfort updates. I think the combination, don't mind my feet, the combination of this carpet material makes a big difference on the way the fit and function of this is. It just looks really nice, and it does a great job with condensation. And of course, this nice thick mattress, when it's inflated, is super comfy. Not gonna lie, guys, my wife and I actually like sleeping in our rooftop tent more than we do at home most of the time. So let's get out of the tent here and we'll just chat a little bit about some of these things that we did here. Let's get this camera turned around. All right, guys, so I just hopped out of the tent. Thank you guys for checking out these details. Hopefully this was useful for you, because I know a lot of you were very interested when I did my review video of some of the updates and upgrades I did to that bad boy right there. So those are all things we've done. It makes a big difference. The ladder makes a great difference for the dog getting in and out, and honestly, even us as well. It's super nice that you can close it in the tent, even with all of your gear. I will mention though, if you don't have an inflatable / deflatable mattress, if you just had like a thick pad in there, I don't think you'd be able to close everything. Like I mentioned, we have 2 queen size, full size pillows. We have a sheet set, a thick wool blanket, and another blanket on top of that. And it closes. You have to be careful, and I could do a whole video on that if you guys are interested in that. You kind of have to be careful on how you place things and whatnot, but you get a hang of it over time. Closes right up. It's been phenomenal. So thank you guys for joining me this week. Check out all those links in the description if you're interested in that, and leave some comments below. I'd love to hear, what have you guys done to your iCampers, and what have you guys considered doing or wish that you had done? So thank you guys for joining me this week. Once again, thank you guys for subscribing. You guys are amazing. Love you. We'll see you next time.